Allamaraine, count 2, 4. Allamaraine, then 3 more. Allamaraine, if you can see. Allamaraine, you'll come with me. Welcome, everybody, to Chris and Match Watch That. This week's episode, we watched the greatest Star Trek Deep Space Nine
I knew this was your favorite episode, Matt. I knew it was your favorite episode.
Entitled The Passenger.
No.
And
wrong.
Oh, I have the wrong title on my sheet.
This is because you use AI. Doo-dah.
This is
doo-dah.
Move Along. And
yeah, I had to edit it. Make sure it had the right title on mine.
Okay. And this week we have, you just heard one of our special guests, Mike, who is in studio with us from
Huzzah!
North Dakota. And we have his lovely wife, Ashley, with us this week. They are visiting, and we decided to have them both on our show this week.
Hello, nice to be here.
And Mike's been on here before, but Ashley, you have not.
No, I have not. I'm very excited to talk some Trek.
And you're probably the least Trek fan we're probably ever going to have on this show.
I'm sure here to talk about some Trek. How about that?
So, Ashley, what Star Trek have you watched?
Well, I grew up watching Star Trek. Like, you know, my mom and my
Star
brother.
Trek?
I'm the same age as you guys, so probably the same TVs that you guys had on.
She doesn't know the names.
No,
she doesn't know.
we watched The Next Generation, and then I remember my brother and my mom were really excited for Deep Space Nine. And then I was really excited for Voyager because as a little girl, I was just like, oh my gosh, a girl captain. And then, you know, by the time Enterprise came out, I was just like, no, I'm not interested. Is that the name of the 2000s one, Enterprise?
Yeah, it's actually a pretty good show.
Yeah, but, you know, I was a 13-year-old girl at that time and had completely lost any interest in enjoying anything my parents did. So
That's fair.
Yeah. So, but I grew up watching it, and the Borg petrified me as a little girl, and
the Voyager was not for you.
No, by the time 7 and 9 came along, I was just like, well, I need to leave.
7-9's awesome, though.
Yeah.
She's a great character.
So when Mike is watching his 10th watch through The Next Generation, you don't ever join him or watch, or no interest?
I can sit well enough that I'm like, I know these character names, you know, but it's not enough that it's enjoyable for me, unfortunately. It's not unpleasant. It's
How could you marry her, Mike?
You know, I've watched Scrubs, Friends, all those silly TV shows like multiple times through, but I can't get her to sit down for a single Star Trek.
Scrubs is pretty good.
Don't slander.
I will say Scrubs is pretty good. I will also say that Friends is terrible. Friends is awful.
I'm not going to knock it. They are decent TV shows, and I enjoy watching them, but I'm like, you're going to enjoy TNG. Come on. And she's just like, no, thanks.
And Ashley, you should tell the story of your dad being in Voyage Home, the movie.
The one with the whales.
Whales in space.
So my dad was in the Navy, and he actually was on the same cruiser, or I don't remember what they filmed Top Gun on. But
it's an aircraft carrier.
Aircraft carrier, yeah. Thank you. And so he called my mom up and was like, hey, that actor that you really like is here. And she's like, Tom Cruise? Holy cow. You know, and so after that, she made him promise, you know, whenever he was going to be involved or seeing movies, that he was to tell her. And so he got to tell her that in the scene where Chekhov runs away from asking about the nuclear vessels, he runs down the stairs, and then there's a bunch of seamen in white, and they all drop to the floor. My dad is one of those extras, so you can see him. He's the one with the BCGs, and you can see him in the background. So
That's
it's
awesome.
pretty cool.
So Ashley brings a unique perspective because she is not really a Star Trek fan.
More of a Star Wars fan than Star Trek.
Very much a Star Wars fan.
And one of these episodes...
It is less intellectual.
Good Lord.
One of these episodes...
With all the techno babble. Our made-up science fiction words are more impressive than yours.
One One of these episodes, I want to do Chris and Leela versus you two in Star Trek versus Star Wars dating game type game.
Well, okay, wait. Is Leela a Star Wars fan or a Star Trek?
She both, but
I mean, everyone in America has seen Star Wars. So.
Yeah, sure. But that's what I'm like.
me and
Chris and really enjoy Star Trek. My wife's a Star Wars fan. So I'm like, who's partnering with my wife?
I'm pretty sure that Leela actually likes Star Trek more than Star Wars. I think I like Star Wars more than she does.
That sounds like a really fun time.
No, we can figure something out.
I am nerd flexible. I'm pretty good with both Star Wars and Star Trek.
Nerd curious.
So we sure brought you on to what a wonderful episode to bring you both on for this week.
Tell us about your favorite episode.
You set me up with that first one, and I kind of enjoyed it. It reminded me of TOS, and then I get into this one, and I'm like, the next one had better be a good episode, dang it.
I will tell you that this episode is voted as the worst episode of Star Trek Deep Space Nine.
Are you serious?
It is literally voted as the worst episode.
That was one of my notes at a 2016 Star Trek convention, the 50th anniversary. The entire crowd voted this the worst episode in the entire series.
And it is...
And one of the lowest in the franchise.
8th worst in the entire series. I would like to point out that Discovery exists. So, I mean...
So yeah, this is a real special one. This is one of the most difficult episodes they had for this season, one of the most expensive, and it was not worth it. Well, let me tell you. So Terry Farrell missed appearing on TNG because of this episode and its production and working in a cave, and instead we get Bashir on The Next Generation on the Birthright episode. And she, as she told it, she literally cried because she missed that opportunity.
I mean, why wouldn't you cry? Like I would cry if I missed the opportunity to be on TNG.
Mm-hmm.
I have cried about not visiting the bridge like Matt has.
Oh, but while we are, dissing this episode, one of the ones I did find was that it was nominated for an Emmy Award for Outstanding Individual Achievement in Hairstyling for a series.
I can see that.
Right?
This episode specifically?
Yeah, this episode specifically. In hairstyling.
That's interesting. The guy who's the main bad guy looks exactly like Ben Stiller does in Happy Gilmore.
That's why he looks so familiar.
That's funny. On a surface level, so let's just general thoughts on this episode. On a surface level, this is like the original series meets Dungeons and Dragons meets Twin Peaks. Except without any of the intelligence or charm of any of those. I know you've never seen Twin Peaks, Chris. I don't think either of you two
I
have
have seen 4 episodes of Twin Peaks and bounced off of it.
I've been to a bar and grill called Twin Peaks, but...
That's a Hooters.
It's a North Dakota Hooters.
Oh, I get it, because there's Twin Peaks. He made a boob joke.
I've been to where the pies are made in North Bend.
Oh, okay.
Oh my goodness.
The rain is coming up.
We're going to have a little rain sound in this
podcast. A little
podcast.
ASMR to put you to sleep.
Yeah.
I'm falling asleep now.
So the game zone reminds me of the Black Lodge in Twin Peaks. This kind of strange ethereal existence with lots of things with assumed esoteric meaning that quite possibly have no meaning.
Mm-hmm.
Overall, man, I am ready to get to season 2. This isn't as bad as New Trek. I don't know if it's art that's really worth any deep level of analysis, though. You're going to hear me squeeze blood from a stone on this podcast episode.
I tried taking notes and I was just like, yeah, that was interesting.
I was clapping my hands with glee that this was the episode that we were having people come in on.
Okay. So here's the other thing that killed you about it. So I think this was directed by David Carson, right? This is the 3rd episode of the series that he had directed. He also directed Emissary, both parts 1 and 2, and Dax. Like
probably the 2 best episodes we've done
of the first season, and then he just somehow directs this one too. And I'm like, either his writers did not like him.
The
writing's what kills this episode.
Yeah, because I found the acting a little bit charming.
The acting's actually quite good in this episode. In fact, Armin Shimmerman with his when he's begging, please, I was like, that is awesome. I hate watching that. That is amazing. Good job. And there's a lot of really good acting in this episode, but the writing kills it.
This is also the first.
The concept isn't that bad. Sorry.
No, you're good. It's the first and only canonical appearance of the Wadi.
Yes.
They never appear again except in a book.
Good.
I remember. Yeah. Well, I mean, you
One
would think
appearance too many.
You would think a race like that, builds their culture around games would kind of be a little more applicable in the Star Trek universe, but
You'd think a lot of things about this episode. You would think a lot of things. Doing this podcast and having to deeply analyze episodes, it makes the good episodes more enjoyable, and it makes these mediocre episodes painful.
Oh, I don't know.
Particularly during the second watch through for me.
I love tearing them apart, man. It's so much fun.
I think for me, it's kind of like, so I love like TOS. I love the original series. And there are definitely some of those episodes, from a more modern day perspective where you're like, that doesn't make much sense. I don't really like it. So when I see these episodes, I give them a bit of grace. I'm like, this is kind of fun. I get it.
To speak on the novice of my Star Trek watching, Mike was watching the original series, 3-4 years ago with your family.
Oh yeah,
when we went to North Dakota. Yeah, you guys were watching that.
The Star Trek All the Time channel.
This episode has the original series vibes, by the way.
The Wadi look like original series aliens. They do.
Chris ensured in our friendship that I at least watch Wrath of Khan. And so I saw it 15, 20 years ago now. And about 3-4 years ago, Mike was watching the original series, and I'm like, hey, that looks like that Khan guy. And Mike was like,
it is that Khan guy.
Just panning to me, like, what?
the original series episode where they actually introduce
Space Seed
Khan. Yeah.
Yeah, and I like,
it's a good episode.
It's a good episode, but it was just super surreal to me. Like, it was like, oh, that makes sense because he's talking about revenge a lot in the second movie.
Yeah, you kind of have to know the episode. They do an okay job of explaining this is one of Kirk's old enemies, but okay, sidetracked.
Sorry about that.
Sidetracked.
So this episode is about games, and if you want to watch something which is about a man playing a game with the highest stakes, I implore you to not watch this and instead watch Ingmar Bergman's film The Seventh Seal. It's an absolute 10 out of 10 perfect film, one of the greatest ever made, and it's about a man playing chess against death. In it, a knight coming home from the Crusades, and he's having a crisis of faith. He's like many modern men in this cynical nihilism envelops him, and it's translated into irony and humor. Irony is like the cloak of cowards, in my opinion. And the movie is him going on a journey with an ever-growing party trying to find evidence of God. His cloak of irony starts to fade as genuine fear sets in that there may be nothing after death but annihilation. In this, the game of chess represents the knight having control over his own life and destiny. As he begins to lose the game, he begins to lose that control of his life. And I bring that up because the game in that is used as a metaphor that has a deeper meaning. The game in this has no meaning whatsoever.
You don't know that until the very end.
That makes it worse.
We're getting
it was all a dream.
It makes it even worse, but there's no moral or ethical. There's no allegory in this episode.
No. There's one moral message in the episode, and that's cheating is bad. Mm-hmm. You shouldn't cheat.
There's no consequences, though. That's not even. I don't even think that's. I don't know.
I think Quark suffered some emotional damage in this episode.
Yeah, definitely lost some brownie points with Cisco.
Yeah, for sure.
But does it carry over to people who've routinely watched the show? Does it carry over? Is Quark a changed man?
No.
Okay, well then.
No.
I don't think Quark really changes.
No, he does. He does change a little bit.
Series, though.
Yeah.
Okay, so my last little bit for this, though. So the game is Chula.
Chula.
Do you know what the game is titled after?
Chutes and Ladders.
Here we go. Look how creative they were. I saw that little bit and I was like, this is great. That kind of sums up the episode.
I want to say that the concept of this episode is actually really interesting, of a game that has players come in that are real people and they have to overcome challenges. The concept is really cool. You can see that it's got Dungeons and Dragons roots in it. And I think, and they do the dice rolling and stuff like that. I think this could have been a good episode if they'd hired a writer. But I feel like they didn't. I feel like they rolled the dice.
Yeah. Well, and it would actually be more entertaining if the players knew that it was a game. Like, can you imagine if they got in there like, oh yeah, we know how to solve this puzzle.
Yes.
But because it's one of those they feel like their life is on the line. This is a weird place that they've put us in. We might be getting ahead of ourselves before we start breaking down each act, but. Yeah, I get where this episode could have gone better.
Yeah, I have a lot on games themselves in this, but let's just dive into this turd. So, fist first. Let's go.
I think we've already set the tone for this episode.
I'm having a great time.
A non-biased judgment.
There is a perverse enjoyment of this. It's kind of like watching Miami Connection or The Ring. Or one of those.
Where they genuinely try to be good.
If you're watching DS9 and you're like, I'm going to watch DS9, this is not an episode it's so bizarre you should not skip it. Okay. It's so bizarre. You have to watch it.
Well, it's the same thing. And, I've made this point. Like, TOS is probably one of the only Star Trek series that has a decent first season because they kind of just hit the ground running.
Yeah.
But every other Star Trek series, their first season, they're trying to figure out where this series is going to go.
Well, a lot of the TNG writers hadn't come over by this point. Like Ronald Moore, the guys that would help really establish what DS9 would be. I think Braga comes over.
You also don't want every single episode to be like character development. You don't want every single episode to have some kind of like...
You can't tell me what I want.
I'll tell you what you want.
What you really, really want.
That's right. The three men started going into Spice Girls. And
if you want to watch some Star Trek.
We're going to get flagged.
I don't have any friends.
Scary Spice is going to come fight us if we keep singing this song. Don't
I want everyone
copyright.
to realize you hear this laughter, you hear this friendship, you can find friends that watch Star Trek. You can find friends through Star Trek. It's not a ew gross nerd thing anymore. And if you find somebody who says that,
if you're like me, you can find friends who watch Star Trek and don't tease you unrelentlessly about watching Star Wars.
That's true. Like Star Wars is fine.
I made the joke earlier about this podcast being different from every other Star Trek podcast, where we're already having only 2 women guest hosts on there. But if we keep this up, we're not going to have any more women join. I think that was all the fun trivia that I had.
What was the one, I sent you a text of the one note that I took about the episode. It was, you guys were talking about technobabble, and Odo comes up to the security officer, and he says like this most inane rant. What was it that I sent you?
Well, you didn't send me anything.
I did.
I know the scene we'll talk about. We'll talk about it when we get there.
Intense bipolar current.
Oh, that one.
Yeah.
Oh, you sent it from my phone to you.
Oh, sorry about that. I had to watch Star Trek somewhere. I didn't want my algorithm to be tainted by the Star Trek.
How dare you call it a taint? This is why we make fun of her right here. She just called it a taint.
Well, I mean, we're talking about diving fist first into a pile of crap.
This is a taint upon Star Trek. Star Trek is not a taint upon someone's algorithm.
No,
if Star Trek is in your algorithm is better.
It's bottom of the barrel for Star Trek, but mediocre for TV in general.
Well, that's fair. Yeah.
I don't know. There's a lot better TV in this episode.
Let's get into it. So Sisko, we open the teaser. Sisko in Sisko's quarters. Commander Sisko dresses in his dress uniform, learns his son Jake has been taking dating advice from the Ferengi boy Nog, who Sisko literally calls the Ferengi boy.
Racist much?
And receives word that the Wadi delegation has arrived. So Kira interrupts and saves us from having to hear Sisko give his son the birds and the bees talk.
Is this like really the first time that you kind of have like one of the captains that's actually like, I don't know, like you had Kirk, who was very much the playboy of the galaxy. You had Picard, who was more of the reserved stoic, but occasionally had some love interest.
Well, he was a playboy when Patrick Stewart got involved, but when it was just the writers, he was the philosopher king.
Sisko's the first and only captain that has any sort of family.
Yeah. Janeway had dogs.
Like spouse.
And coffee.
Like spouse, because the other captains did have family.
No. Kirk has no family. Picard has no family.
Brother.
Nephew. I'm talking wife and kids.
That's why I said spouse.
Yeah.
Like he's the only one who ever got married.
Yeah. Obviously, people have parents, so they
No,
wouldn't
but like
exist otherwise.
Kirk had a brother that died.
I just want to point out that no family is
actually-
different from doesn't have a family.
No, because Kirk did technically get married. He had a son.
He didn't get married. They had a son.
In the original
Oh,
You can
series,
that's
have
right.
children out of wedlock?
in the original series, like on the shows themselves,
okay.
Cisco's the only one with any sort of family that we see.
Wasn't Janeway? Didn't she get married? And
She had
got
a
divorced?
fiance. And
I thought that she was married, but
no.
okay. And then she got teleported away before they could finish getting married.
Yes, she got caretakered.
So
Yeah.
this scene has zero bearing on the episode. If this was written in any sort of interesting way, you would have Nog and Jake staying up late because they were playing Star Trek Voyager Elite Force over the network. But you would have the scene fit the theme of games in here somewhere.
Yeah, it felt I don't think the scene was a bad scene. In fact, Avery Brooks does a good job of acting like a concerned father in this scene, and Sarah Clofton, who plays Jake, does a great job of playing. I mean, he is a 12-year-old boy. He might have been like 14. I don't know, but he does a good job of playing. Like, I don't need to hear about this, Dad. I already know everything I need to know. You know, it's a good scene. It's the scene itself is well written. It just doesn't fit.
Yeah.
In this episode, it should have been in a different episode.
Yeah, there's no payoff. I remember it going to credits and I'm like, what happens to Jake?
Yeah,
Jake doesn't even find out. He's not even there when they find his dad.
True.
yeah.
Like, oh. So Cisco leaves, goes to the promenade, to the airlock, and Cisco, Kira, Dax, and a noticeably underdressed Bashir wait at the airlock to formally greet their Gamma Quadrant visitors. Fallow, who is our alien of the week, and he's a Wadi, and the Wadi delegation emerge, brushing past the diplomatic pleasantries to immediately
No, you said it right.
to immediately demand, where are the games? Cisco and Kira reluctantly escort the enthusiastic Wadi to Quark's establishment.
No, not the games. They want to know quarks.
Quarks.
The alien sounds mentally handicapped.
Yes.
Okay.
In this scene.
Yes. Where are games? We were told you had games. They sound like Packlids from TNG.
Yeah.
But only in this scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
Well, and then, but they never established where they heard about quarks.
From the Vulcans, I guess, because they love to gamble. You know,
Yeah,
Vulcans love to
the
gamble.
Vulcans are like, oh, those hollow suites. You're gonna love them.
and then we have that. There's supposed to be a humorous bit of Bashir, like, oh, I thought I packed my,
Yeah,
dude, you got a replicator in your room.
there's a replimat.
There's a replimat on the promenade. You go like, hey, Commander Cisco, I forgot my uniform. Could you replicate one for me? Because I'm too stupid to replicate. Like, it's so dumb.
Yeah.
Like,
and like this was not like spur of the moment. Like the Wadi are like, we're coming through the wormhole now, and they're like, oh no, this was like well
he had
planned.
time. Yeah. How long does it take to replicate a uniform?
So I think we're just continuing to crap on the writing. I think
Yes,
the
that's
problem.
exactly what.
And Bashir.
I do want to say though, in this scene, I realized, wow, they actually like they tailored the dress uniforms to the actors, and Bashir's uniform is not tailored. I think that's actually a choice by either the costume department or by the director to make him look even more disheveled because he looks worse in that uniform than he ever has before. And then he looks fine for the rest of the episode, but it's fantastic.
And the aliens look like straight out of a 1967 episode of the original series.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can tell they're aliens because they have purple markings on their forehead.
Yeah.
I only had one weird note from this scene, aside from like knowing where Quarks was. It was, if you watch Kira when Cisco's introducing, not just like that, she has the weirdest pose. Like she's like
Peter Pan.
Yeah. Like she's got like her hands on her hips and she's like kind of posed sideways. And I remember looking at that and I was like, what is she doing?
I think they told her, hey, pose like you're trying to impress people.
Yeah, but like nobody else was doing it. Like,
No, Jadzia was a little bit too. You just couldn't see it as much because Cisco's in the way for a lot of the shot.
well,
She seems to be like what, 5'3", so she was probably doing her best to like stay in frame.
Yeah.
that was my
Think
only
tall
note.
thoughts.
So Cisco says that first contact is not what it used to be. Do you guys remember when he sent the ship's mechanic by himself to make first contact with the first alien species they ever encountered from the Gamma Quadrant?
Yes, I do. I remember that very, very.
You talked to him on the radio, right? Yeah, you go make first contact.
Yeah.
Like special uniform boss or no, what
You
you're
know
wearing is
what?
fine.
I think he blames O'Brien. That first contact isn't what it used to be.
So we get the show's credits, and then we go into the first act, and we open at Quark's bar. And the Wadi are excitedly observe the Dabo wheel, while Cisco sternly warns Quark not to exploit the first contact guests. Quark negotiates stakes with the Wadi, rejecting their offers of local goods until Fallow produces a pouch of precious gemstones. Later,
Easily
the Wadi
replicated.
go on an unstoppable winning streak. Desperate, Quark secretly signals Broik, one of his workers, to rig the Dabo wheel. Cisco gets tired and goes home. So Fallow pours out rocks, which makes Quark see dollar signs, and he must be thinking, ooh, is that granite? Is that basalt I see? Like the ludicrousness of this in Star Trek, that he would be impressed by gemstones.
I will say though that even though we kind of crap on this episode for its writing, it is that like that moment is kind of like you actually took it from the standpoint of a different culture, from a different galaxy, and said, what would they value? Because the things that they value are not the same things that they're going to value. But
Right.
then they had to bring something that Quark would actually be interested in. It was shiny rocks.
Yeah. So
yeah,
show
they even
him
almost
sticks.
dismissively, they're like, yeah, and we've got these.
We use these to make dice.
So Armin Shimmerman's performance at Quark as Quark in this episode is one of the few things you're going to enjoy. They offer Quark Klon Pigs, which Quark
Sticks.
gives a disgusted sticks reply to. And I think those sticks become part of the game
They
later
do,
on,
yeah.
Yep.
Just kind of weird.
I don't think it's part of the game. I think it's part of their culture.
Yeah, they're clacking
They're
them
probably
together.
Yeah,
tapping,
okay.
like poker chips together.
They're
Basically
trying to
like doing
create
that.
the luck with the stick spirits.
And he refuses their drink, saying one man's priceless is another man's worthless. And like I said, Shimmerman's performance is one of the only, and I'm reaching here. It's not like this all-time great performance in television, but
Yeah.
He does do a great job, though.
it's one of the things that's enjoyable. in
One of
this
the redeeming
episode.
qualities.
He
of this
really,
episode.
and later on, he really goes for it. Like he's just like, this is a goofy episode, and I'm just gonna chew it up. I'm going for it hard.
Well, so like you
I'm going
imagine that
hard
they
in
were
the
like,
paint.
this drink is priceless. And then Quark's like, I've got better drinks over there. And they like try it. They're like, oh my God, this priceless drink.
You hand him a Diet Coke. This priceless drink.
So next scene, we're in Cisco's quarters. Cisco enters and finds his son Jake still awake working on a school project. Cisco scolds him about his bedtime and Nog's influence, then sarcastically complains that he just spent 6 hours eating Ferengi low-carb beans and watching adults play childish games before sending Jake to bed.
Doesn't Cisco love baseball?
Baseball is not a childish game. You hit ball with stick.
So Nog isn't in this episode despite how much they talk about him.
They talk about him more than O'Brien.
Wouldn't this episode have been more interesting if it was about the Ferengi and Cisco and the Federation and having to find commonality with a society which has many aspects they find reprehensible?
Yep.
And you could have used the game or games as a way to find that commonality.
I think one of the writing team, I don't know how many people wrote on this episode. I didn't look it up because I didn't want to hate.
At least one.
Are you sure? Chat GPT, make me a DS9 episode.
Make it bad.
No, that's the default setting for Chat GPT. I will tell you that right now. So I think they had some of these higher concepts that they wanted to mix in with it, but they just did not execute on any of them. And it's just, I think this episode needed another 3 weeks in the oven in the writing studio, but they were like, no, we got to go now. Let's do this.
And the strangest part about it is that aside from the pilot, this was the highest budgeted episode for
They had to
the series
build
so
that
far.
whole set.
Yeah, they put a ton of money into this episode, and it
The
was
set's
just,
really cool. The game set.
but it's
neat.
like, well, we know where your budget went. Could you have put some more towards the writing staff?
No.
Like, give it a couple more weeks. And
Why? You guys pay writers?
Now, you say that the set is really unique and awesome, but I disagree. It's a well-built set, but only one door opens in any scene.
It's
No,
like,
all 3 of those doors open that you can see. There's a scene with 3 of the 4 doors open.
Oh, you have me there. I'm sorry.
It is unique in a sense. The triangles. I mean, I looked at it and I was
It's
like,
supposed to look like a game board, right? So
That's fair.
I think they got like, again, like I said, I think the writer did a good job of being like, an alien culture might appreciate this where we don't really understand it.
yeah,
So it's like trying like, diamond doors on its side. And it's like, that doesn't make any sense for us, but for another culture, it might.
So let's get to that because that's in a couple scenes here. So next scene, Quark's bar. Fallow catches Broik. Broik is one of the Ferengi workers. Catches Broik cheating. Rejects Quark's frantic bribes and sets up a Wadi board game called Chula instead.
with his magic box.
Yes. And Quark gives a great line here. Broik, you disreputable swindler. I put up with your cheating for the last time.
And say that with those teeth. That was a very good job on his part.
Yeah.
But I think he says that to like every single one of his employees.
So at this point, the game begins. Our next scene is Cisco waking up in the Chula maze. And he awakens on the floor of a bizarre alien corridor. His comm badge is useless, and an eerie holographic apparition of Fallow appears, telling him to move along. Move along home. Cisco moves down the corridor and quickly reunites with the confused Dax, Bashir, and Kira. Now,
Before we dive into them getting into the game, there is one part I did laugh about when Quark was talking to Fallow, kind of like bartering, trying to figure out. He admits that the holo suites are mainly for sex.
Yes.
And he asks if they have
DS9
sex
is
on their
open
planet.
because
Yeah.
when TNG did holodecks, everyone was like, all the fans were like, well, obviously this would be used.
Well, and Riker, it's pretty much confirmed with Riker. He's
Yeah.
like, oh, I want to sleep with this holodeck woman that the Bynар made for me.
Minuet,
Yeah.
It's like, so are we really that much more advanced in the future, or do we just get all of our vices out in the holo suites?
Yeah.
I don't want to think about the cleanup. Lower Decks has an episode about that, about holodeck cleanup.
I think I'm good with
It is so funny. Oh, man.
That feels like a show I would probably take great
I would
pleasure
love
in.
to watch Lower Decks with you. It would
That
be
would be a
awesome.
good time.
Matt won't watch it because he's like, it's new Trek, and then I'll sully my no new Trek soul.
his new Trek virgin soul.
I want to talk about them waking up here. Why do they have tricorders? Why do they have tricorders?
Because they went to bed with tricorders. Every Starfleet.
The
officer-
tricorders, not only does it not make any sense that an alien game would give them tricorders, it also doesn't make sense that Kira would have a Starfleet tricorder and not a Bajoran tricorder. And it doesn't make sense because the tricorders literally do nothing for them in the entire episode.
No. They sees the magnets or the magnetic field coming straight towards them.
Yeah, you know how they found that? Dax ran into it with her face. There must be a barrier.
Well, I mean, it put them in their uniform because they didn't go to bed in their uniform. So maybe
Yeah, and that's the other thing. Like, it should have just been, they should have all been in their pajamas or whatever.
that would have been funnier.
That I would love that because
Yeah.
it makes more sense because they're just pulling them in, and then when they get teleported out, they're wearing their uniforms with the tricorders in the bar. So it just beamed tricorders into their pocket. It gave Kira a random pocket for a tricorder.
That sounds like what you're saying is a nitpick, but it goes into the fact that they're in a game, right? But they don't actually play a game. And I'll get into this in each scene. There's no actual gameplay. There's no the riddles, nothing. It's a nothing. It's nothing. It's like they're walking down a hall. That's the game.
First part is the most game-like aspect of it with Allamaraine, where they have to figure that part out. That is the most game-like part. I feel like each of these little scenes was supposed to be a bigger thing, but they ran out of time. They ran out of time. They ran out of writers who knew how to write, and they ran out of I think they just stopped caring. Send it, print it, don't care.
So let me give this episode a little deeper analysis than it deserves. So the set, there's a lot of images of triangles, okay? And they all point in different directions. And I think you could this aesthetic as the different paths of opportunities they might have. Because I think the artists probably put more effort into this than the writers
Absolutely.
did. So they were thinking like, okay, I'm going to make a board game, alien ship, like as probably what they're thinking. That's a board game. So we'll make it arrows, like Monopoly. It's pointing multiple directions. You have multiple choices. But on each level, there's only one route. They have no options. They're confronted with easy riddles. The only option they're given is whether to leave the injured player behind. And they choose incorrectly, sacrificing the entire party in their attempt to save one player. And this scene, okay, Bashir is screaming, which he says is him attempting to wake himself up.
Sounds like a peacock.
That's the take we decided to go with in this episode. That's the best the director can get. How does this scene make air? How does this make the edit? How does the director go, oh, we got to reshoot this?
There
is so bad.
So we talked about Ronald Moore earlier. He joined the writing team later, and he knew he wanted to join the writing team, and he saw this episode before he had. He said he watched it and thought that everyone had lost their minds. Yeah. How did you let this get onto TV?
Yeah. On a side note, if you want Chris to do animal noises for your podcast, please feel free to reach out to.
So the 4 trapped senior officers scan their surroundings with the tricorders. Why they have them, we don't know. Confirming they are trapped in a multi-level labyrinth. Kira screams about being a Bajoran administrator and not a Starfleet explorer. This juxtaposition could have played into the game. Maybe her unwillingness, it plays a cause for her to be the first person to lose. Mm-hmm. You could have made this an allegory that curiosity is what societies need to evolve closer to perfection. But no, nothing that interesting happens.
This episode has so many false starts. I felt when I watched it, I remembered this episode because as soon as I saw the name, I'm like, oh, yes, this is going to be the best because it's terrible. But this episode has so many false starts of, oh, this is going to get interesting. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, a whole lot of that's interesting. And then we don't follow up with anything. No payoff on anything at all.
You don't feel any better when you first started the episode.
No. In fact, you're like, did I waste my life? Did I just wasted part of my the most valuable resource I have?
There was a time-space phenomenon I just did.
It was really hard for me because I was like, well, the show doesn't stop after the end of this episode, so I'm assuming none of these characters die.
The Wadi, they all die.
So Bashir.
Now we're getting to an episode I can enjoy.
Bashir just gets killed.
So the next morning, Jake reports his father's disappearance to Odo. Odo and Starfleet Lieutenant Primin clash over jurisdictional authority while initiating a station-wide sweep for the missing staff. So you didn't think Primin was in another episode, and we get him for 2 scenes here, or 1 scene.
These are his last scenes.
Yeah, this is his last one.
He's never in it again, and I guarantee you it's because they're still going, hey, Cole Meany, if you don't come back, we're replacing you with a different guy who fits into your uniform.
So, do they stop calling Odo Constable after season 1?
Nope.
No,
it's a good title and a descriptive title for his position.
I think Cisco is one of the only ones that keeps it, though. Is it Kira that keeps calling him Constable?
No, she's always called him Odo.
So Odo whines about being called Constable in this scene.
Yeah.
I'm not. Stop calling me Constable. I'm the security chief, and it's like, okay, buddy, you're not in Starfleet.
To his credit, yeah. Well, to his credit, though, he's used to being around Cardassians, and they're very military-esque. They're not, they're not very laissez-faire like the Starfleet is. So
I'm starting to like Quark or Odo. I always miss Quark and Odo's names. I don't know what that is in my mind.
Yeah, those are two very opposite ends of that coin.
They're in a relationship with each other, so it's understandable.
I'm starting to like Odo less and less as the show goes on.
How do you pronounce Renee's last name?
Aubergenois.
Thank you.
Yes, I had to look it up.
No, it was one of those things where it felt disrespectful to even attempt it. But
fantastic actor.
Oh, he's amazing. I grew up loving him from Little Mermaid and such, and then we just started watching Boston Legal, and that one's a crazy one because both Odo and
tons
Kirk.
Of Star Trek people in that
it's
show.
insane. It's insane. It's a fun.
Is it good?
No.
Boston Legal's not bad.
It's the caliber of acting in that show, and then the writing is very like.
It's kind of like this episode.
No, it's nowhere near as dismal as this episode.
It's supposed to be kind of like, like a crime procedural in the sense, or like a court procedural where they kind of go through it, but they also add like weird bits of reality drama kind of to it. And you're like, that wasn't really necessary.
It's so crazy because they have a lot of, like you said, there's good acting. There's really good actors. And William Shatner does good acting in Boston Legal, which is something, I'd say it's something new. But
because he's being William Shatner.
Okay, no, I'm sorry.
He's a pretty decent actor.
I stand by William Shatner's acting. Like in Twilight Zone, when people are like, "There's something on the wing of the plane," I'm like, no, he never says it like that.
Right.
He says there's some.
Chris and I had this discussion on a previous episode that he is kind of, because he's been mocked so much, he's become kind of criminally underrated as an actor. Like he is phenomenal in those Star Trek films. He's great in Star Trek. And he's
He's got some cheesy stuff in Star Trek, but it was the 60s and everything was cheesy. That was the style. And people think that the style is how he acts, right?
Plus, he even had a clothing line through JCPenney. I thought that was...
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
I saw like this old ad.
JCPenney's still in business. Did you know that?
I get shirts from there from time to time.
I did.
My
I don't know how they're hanging out.
300-pound husband has to get shirts from Shaq.
Oh, yeah. Shaquille O'Neal's line. Beautiful stuff. I think I'm wearing one of them right now. Yeah.
I like his chicken.
Shaq's chicken.
Have you been to Big Chicken?
No.
Oh, before you leave, you got to go to Big Chicken.
Okay.
So we're going to get into a little bit of my analysis of games here. So next scene, Fallow explains the basic mechanics of Chula to Quark. I mean,
he doesn't.
I know.
You must learn as you play. You are required to learn as you play. So he doesn't explain the mechanics at all.
Yeah, we as the audience don't learn anything.
Roll the dice.
He rolls his first dice to move his 4 game pieces. So real quickly, what is a game?
I mean, you have an objective to win, essentially.
No,
It's
not
More
true.
more simplistic. What is a game? That's what you're trying to accomplish.
Enjoyable
with a
passage
game.
of time.
A way to entertain a person or a group of people.
Sure. Yeah. It's not a
I
bad
would say,
definition. No.
usually through either a rule set or some kind of fantasy.
You compliment him, but not me. You're my husband.
I mean,
said
that,
something?
that could describe a movie though, and a movie's not a game.
And that's fair.
I said rule set.
So Webster's dictionary defines it as a physical or mental competition conducted according to rules with the participants in direct opposition to each other. So what a game really boils down to is competition, which is the comparison of different people to prove who is superior.
Solitaire.
We can also compete against ourselves, in which case the goal is self-improvement. But even in self-improvement, the value of our score is still measured against others. There's evidence of games, specifically board games, going back to the Bronze Age, 1600 years before Christ. Sir Arthur Evans in 1901, Greece, discovered the Zatrikon, or the drought board, which is the oldest physical board game discovered in Europe. You, of course, had the Greek Olympic Games, Petia, which is the 5th century precursor to chess. The Romans had strategy games and gambling. In the Middle Ages is when chess spread throughout Europe. Games have been with us as humans likely longer than civilization itself. Why do you guys think we as humans play games? Why do we compete with each other in this kind of simulated combat kind of thing?
To move along home.
I think it kind of gives us as a species purpose. Like, we're curious by nature, right? But we always strive to push ourselves. We always strive, well, not all of us, but we as a species always strive to grow. We're always exploring. We always, move out, and we're always trying to understand new and better things. And one of the ways that we grow, it's just like when you exercise, like your body breaks the muscle down, but that part of the breaking muscle down and growing more muscle, it's the same thing with competition and competing with one another.
Dang it, Matt!
Another Amazon delivery.
Good call.
Yeah. So competition, I think, is healthy for us as a species. And I could even add a little bit of modern social commentary to that, in the sense of I'm really not a big fan of the modern trend of we're not really competing with one another. Everybody's a winner. I'm like, no, because that's not realistic. I mean, yeah, we as a species can, continue to win.
Sounds
together.
like loser talk to me.
If you're not first, you're last. Well, that's ridiculous, Bobby. I must have said that when I was drunk. There's first, second, third.
So I think we play games to find out, like you said, kind of find out our limits, but also to find out the limits of other people. Without, poking them with sticks or making people bleed like we would when we were, a little less civilized. Games are kind of, are you ready? You ready for this? Matt will like this. Games are a veneer on top of our natural savagery.
Yes.
Yep. Did you see him get so excited?
Yeah, I saw that.
Did you hear the thump on the bottom of the table?
There is I don't know how else to put it other than like a savagery, because the aspect of games that we like is, in a sense, proving that we're better than we're competitor. And a lot of games have to do with simulating aspects of our mind that have to do with combat and war. So sports is a simulated type of combat, basketball, football. And then board games is a simulated war strategy. I mean, chess specifically, which is the world's oldest game that's still active.
Tactics and all that.
It's a tactical war game.
Well, and I think if you really want a good example of this, look at the Olympics. Like if you compare athletes from like the 60s to like modern day Olympians.
Modern drugs are great, man. I mean...
Well, that'll be the next step. Just let them have all the drugs and we'll figure out who can be the better human.
Nobody's doing anything fancy to do this superhuman stuff.
Yeah, but it's that point of even people who got first, second, or third in the Olympics, like first place doesn't just stop and be like, I have peaked. I am done. No, first place is like, wow, I didn't really beat second place by that much. I need to try harder for next year. And then the second place does the same thing, third place. So competition drives us to grow as a species.
Are you saying competition drives innovation? You can't say a capitalist line on a Star Trek podcast. You're going to get us canceled.
Yeah, well, see, but in the Star Trek universe, it's sunshine and rainbows. Everybody wants to do better for the human race.
But in Star Trek, they're still trying to push themselves, right? It's the part of the human evolution is not, we don't have to push ourselves for the goal, for the carrot anymore.
All needs are met.
The journey is its own reward.
Yeah. Which honestly, I think would be a really fun universe to live in. Yeah.
Unlike Star Wars, which is a sucky universe to live in.
Not if you're a Skywalker.
Look at what happens to the Skywalkers. They do not have good lives.
Yeah, but you get to kiss your sister from time to time.
That was only one of them.
So games, there's an element of it being a pastime, something to do when you're not working. You might think this means that only the upper class played games, or they played more than the plebeians, but that's not true. Games are an absolutely universal human trait. Everyone from every society, every caste, every religion, we all play games. We play them constantly, every day. It's one of the things that binds us most as humans. There's been a historical religious pushback against games. They're viewed as a waste of time and resources. Our reality is a competition of resources. Be it food, reproduction, land, and ultimately war itself. Everything is in some way a competition between individuals or societies. A game is a simulation of that reality of competition. It accesses the same part of our psyche that is required for us to compete, to evolve. But instead, it puts that energy into something that isn't real. Instead of commanding troops in a real battle, we command them on a chessboard. Instead of driving a semi-truck or flying a plane, we drive truck and plane simulators. And I think the real value of games is that it gives us an opportunity to experience an aspect of life that we otherwise wouldn't have an opportunity to experience. And the real danger of games is that we learn to love the simulation more than the reality. And I think this has become more and more true. And I think our elites use games to control us. Like sports teams are used to gin up fake civic engagement. Instead of uniting over a shared creed, you instead unite over some fake transient sports logo where you root for a bunch of hired guns who have little to no commonality with the local fans. Sports fandom, and this is my hot take, sports fandom is the real opiate of the masses, and our obsession with them is a sign of a decaying society. Just look at late stage Rome and their obsession with games.
Yeah, I think the Seahawks suck too. That's
Is that why you like wrestling, because it's not a real game?
Yeah.
It's scripted instead.
that's more of a play at that point.
It is a
though.
play.
Yeah.
That is a crazy hot take. I really think that it unites you did make a good point that it brings together people, and instead of it being a religion or something that brings people together, it's a team.
It's simulated. It's nothing real, and it's transient.
Yeah, don't you wish people were just killing each other for real in coliseums? Wouldn't that be better?
But that's also simulated.
It's not necessarily the fact that the game itself is fake. It's the fact that it brings people together. We as humans are very social creatures by nature. If you put one of us in the middle of nowhere long enough, we go crazy. And that's just the way we are.
But it's not in a real way. You're not bonding. The bond is not real. You're not bonding over a shared religion or creed or
we can't be friends because of Star
ancestors.
Trek. We have to finish the podcast.
I disagree.
This isn't real, guys.
This podcast is
Our friendship is a lie because it's Star Trek. I peeked it again. Sorry.
I think, to be honest with you, I think the bond being created, I don't care why the bond got created. The fact that it did get created, what brought us together, because it also gives us a commonality. Like, for example, if two different cultures meet and they have nothing in common with each other, but then it's like, what's that game you play? That's fascinating. How do you play it? Well, we play something similar. And all of a sudden you found a way as a species to come together, and we're stronger together.
You've got a really good point on the fact that, being an adopted kid, the only thing that I had in relation to my parents is that I was a person. And so we were able to evolve and grow together over games and shared commonality. So I don't know.
You shared the same language with your parents. You shared the same
that's
ethnic
fair.
background with your parents.
No, I don't.
You were both European peoples. You have a shared history.
She's Alaskan native.
Oh,
Okay, don't
Very-
say that so specifically.
That's the way I hear it all the time. So maybe you're just hearing yourself.
these are things that, like I said, they're transient. They're not a transcendent thing that lasts beyond your own life. They like the sports teams don't matter.
I agree that sports teams are not as important as other things. I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. I think they can be used to control people. I'm sure they have been. I'm sure, like you said, they are used to drive civic engagement. I feel like being sports fans is not as bad as being opiate fans. If you're going to call it the opiate of the masses, I don't usually see sports fans just staring off into the distance after committing multiple crimes. Okay, so if they win, sometimes they do that.
Well, I'm using a turn of phrase that's a communist phrase. That's religion's the opiate of the masses.
Yeah, I know, but it's. I think we have gotten a little too sidetracked here. But
we're trying to add a philosophical discussion to a game or to an episode that really doesn't warrant it.
Yes.
So we're filling the air.
To reiterate my point is you look at something like a union, okay? Unions are most powerful when people have are most homogenous. So the most powerful unions in like the 19th century were ones where like the guys were all Irish Catholic, right? So they all went to the same Catholic precinct. They all went to mass together, okay? And so when it came time, and they all worked at the same place, right? So when it came time to strike, you had a lot of solidarity, okay? So when you require real solidarity, you're not going to get that over because we're both Seahawks fans. We're not going to stand together because we root for this football team that's owned by a billionaire who is like, you're rooting for a logo.
So why
for a bunch of players that
why
don't.
is that important?
Well, so I think I get
It gets to the
They can
game
bond
thing.
about over something else, right?
So this is my thing: is games are simulations of
Yes.
things that are real. And so if you get so obsessed with the simulation, where you get these people that will drive a truck simulator and they're unemployed driving a truck simulator. Okay, the lunacy of that. That's our modern world.
Mm.
As people are more in love with the simulation than reality.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, there's
you're not
safety in
wrong.
the simulation.
Yeah,
There's
exactly.
that, yeah.
Yes. Well put, Ashley.
I don't know. But I think, say, for example, you find somebody else that also plays Truck Simulator and you find that, oh, this is enjoyable. I enjoy talking to this person while we play. Now you've found a bond. Now you found someone that you can, connect with. And again, we socialize as creatures. And I think that the pastime is something that we as a species need because we can't all just work.
Work.
We just have to make sports illegal is what I'm getting at.
There should be a healthier
conversation.
balance between
Sports betting.
There should be a healthier balance between games and reality, I think.
There should be a healthier balance between a lot of things in reality, but we are humans and we follow our happy brain chemicals and the lizard brain all the time.
My biggest qualm with this, with the back to the game with Chula, is that he is so dismissive of you learn as you play and such. And it's just like, he could really easily be like, it's a game of life and death, or just really, like lean into it where it like makes the viewer like, oh my gosh, are there lives
Give
on
the
the
game
line?
meaning.
Yeah. Like, and I feel like that actor could have probably delivered a line decently enough.
He's not
of
a
that.
bad actor. He does a pretty good job.
Yeah.
Except for the beginning when he's like game, give me game.
That was very strange.
Walks.
But he, if he had just leaned into it a little bit heavier, I think it would have been, again, there was no payoff. There was no worry. The series doesn't end after this episode. I'm not concerned for any of these characters.
Like I said, games are meant to be a simulation. What is this a simulation for of these people?
It's a simulation of a Star Trek episode. This whole episode is just a simulation and it never happened, just like every TNG thing after All Good Things.
This is their version of D&D.
I do want to add, though, just prior to this scene, when Odo talks to Primina, one of my favorite lines in this episode is, "Lost many commanders."
Yeah.
He's just like, what are you talking about? I heard they partied hard last night. Oh, good. Your entire command staff didn't show up for work this morning.
Yeah.
Starfleet setting standards.
Do you think they're like party ships? The ships that are known to just be party ships
Oh,
in
sure.
Starfleet? Like you've got the Enterprise and then you've got like the USS Palomino and they are just hitting it every night. And it's
You've got the Ivy League of the Enterprise and being the flagship of the Starfleet.
And then you've got the UCLA.
You've got the Enterprise. They have 147 first contacts and they've saved the universe 17 times. But the Palomino, they have won every Starfleet beer pong championship for the last 17 years.
They've also only done cargo runs for the last 17 years.
Oddly enough, of ping pong balls.
So this isn't the first game that's brought up in DS9. They, as Mike said earlier, the game of baseball is used in the pilot to explain cause and effect and the concept of time. So
There's the rain again.
Yeah. And so the simulation of time, cause and effect, was explained through baseball. So again, it's something that could have been more interesting in this episode and is not.
Baseball is one of those games that if you grew up enjoying it, you enjoy it. But my husband did not grow up enjoying it. So he just thinks it's 9 innings of getting drunk.
My favorite thing about baseball is a sourdough chili bowl.
Oh my gosh.
So good. Somehow they're better at stadiums than they are if you just make them yourself. I don't know what they do.
Why is our favorite
MSG.
thing about baseball not baseball?
I think that tells you something about baseball.
I mean, it's
Not my
definitely
favorite sport, but I like it more than you guys.
Matt, you can't like sports. Sports are bad.
They're not real, man.
They're not real. It's a simulation.
He's transient.
Okay, we are
Sorry.
we are
Sorry.
teasing you a bit, but we are appreciative that you did add some kind of higher level discussion to this episode.
That's true. Rather than just Chula. And what does he say? Throp?
I don't know. I don't care.
Thrip? Throp?
Allamaraine.
Try to bring some culture to this.
We're listening to the Allamaraine.
Ooh.
Please mute his mic.
Just yanks it.
So our next scene, they're in the maze. The crew enters a room where a young Waddy girl is playing a hopscotch-like game while singing a nursery rhyme, Allamaraine. Kira is thrown backward by an invisible force field when trying to exit. Dax realizes the key to passing it is to perfectly mimic the girl's hopscotch steps and chant, allowing all four to pass safely. The secondhand embarrassment I felt watching this is thick and heavy.
It looked like it physically hurt Cisco and Kira.
Watching Avery Brooks, this Shakespearean actor, have to do hopscotch, it's its own kind of perverse form of enjoyment. All the actors hated it. When Brooks was asked at a convention what his least favorite episode was, he started singing the Allamaraine song. And like I said, this is the kind of weird stuff that reminded me of the Black Lodge and Twin Peaks. And I did my research and what the esoteric meaning behind the term Allamaraine was. What do you guys think the meaning is? Good guess, guys. Nothing. Absolutely did not mean anything whatsoever. It has no meaning other than that it rhymes. And I am going to right now play a clip for you guys.
Oh no. I've already watched this twice, Matt. Don't make me do this a third time.
Don't get us canceled on YouTube, please.
This is an interview from Mark Bernardin, who is one of the uncredited writers. He submitted an idea early on in his writing career, and we're going to watch a clip. I'm going to put it on the TV.
Kevin Smith.
This is also the first time that everybody who's in the simulation starts understanding, oh, this might be a game.
Is that Silent Bob?
Yes, that's Kevin Smith.
This is Kevin Smith's podcast. And the man on the right submitted an idea from this episode. So I'm going to go ahead and start the clip.
I've been lucky enough to never have that experience.
Okay.
I was an intern it was between my junior year and senior year of college. I was an intern on Star Trek Deep Space Nine. It was the first time I was ever in LA. I was 20 years old, I think. Yeah, about right. I couldn't drink yet. But I spent the summer in Los Angeles by myself. And so part of being an intern was you kind of just sat in on it. You went to production meetings, you read scripts, because at the time, Star Trek was the only television show on the air, and the last one to ever do this, that had open submission policy. Anybody from anywhere could write a Star Trek script and send it into Paramount, and your script would get read.
Are you kidding me?
Absolutely. And Jane Espenson got her start by selling a script there. Ron Moore got his start by selling a script there. It was like the on-ramp for nerds who wanted to work in TV.
Wow.
Back in the sort
Did
of
they
late
produce
80s.
the episodes, or was it just like, hey, you're a good
Yeah.
writer, come on?
I mean, they absolutely produced episodes. Like we bought the script.
Wow.
Sometimes they only got story credit. Sometimes they got we're just going to do that one because we're making 30 of these a year, and we need a couple of scripts from freelancers.
Had they known the future, they would have been like, we should shoot a show about that process. Make it a contest.
But so I was an intern and doing all that. But the showrunner at the time of Deep Space Nine, who was for the entire time, a guy named Ira Stephen Bear, who was also 20 years after that my boss on Alphas and is now, I think, the #2 on Outlander. But he invited me to everything. He's like, come sit on pitch sessions, come sit on story breaks, come like you're an intern, do everything you can possibly do. So they were breaking like the 4th episode of the first season of DS9, which was not a good show in this first season. All Star Trek shows suck in their first season. And there was some they needed an obstacle for Cisco and Kira to have to go through to gain the trust of some alien race. And I was like, what if they play like hopscotch? And I got laughed out of the room because that's a dumb fucking idea for a science fiction show where your lead, your first black captain, is playing hopscotch in a alien world. So I'm like, yeah, you're right. I'm just a fucking intern. 8 months later, I go home and I'm just watching the show because I'm like, hey guys, this was a show I worked on. And I see that fucking episode, and there is Hawk from Spencer for Hire playing fucking hopscotch on an alien planet. I was like, and didn't want to admit that was my idea because it's a cheeky idea. I was like, whatever. That was the one time I had that. Oh, that was my thing, and I didn't get paid for it, but it's okay. I never admit it either. Allamaraine was the dumbest game.
When it was.
That's hilarious. That guy swore 14 times
Just trying to tell that
in
story.
that story of just.
He was standing next to Kevin Smith. I think it's a requirement.
Oh, that's fair. But that made me laugh because I was like, oh, that that is that's he's sworn more times in this story than we have this whole podcast. And then I started counting them, and I'm like, whoa, okay.
Yeah. I have to spend time editing it out.
Yep.
Beep, beep.
Making
beep.
more work for yourself there, Matt.
That was hysterical, by the way. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, the ludicrousness that this made TV is good because it's the only thing enjoyable in this episode.
I mean, like he said, like they were pumping out like 30 episodes of Star Trek in a year, versus like some production companies now can barely put 10 of a single show.
The last 2 seasons of House of the Dragon are going to be 8 episodes each. That's it.
They better be an hour long.
I'm
hour and a half.
I'm hoping so, but
I don't care because I'm not watching the show, and I will never watch the show.
You're not missing much.
I don't think I am.
No, the first season was really good.
Our next scene is in Quark's bar. Fallow forces Quark to make a tactical choice for his next turn, a short but highly perilous path or a long, completely safe path. Odo interrupts the game to investigate the missing crew. Looking at the board, Quark suddenly realizes the 4 game pieces are actually Sisko, Kira, Dax, and Bashir. Panicked for their safety, Quark chooses the long, safe path. Why would Quark assume the missing crewmen are the players on the board?
Because the writing said he had
such an insane mental jump to make. There's nothing in the narrative of this episode that would suggest the game pieces represent
And are
people.
the game pieces actually them? Like, is that their physical? Have they been transmuted into the game piece?
This is pothead logic.
Yeah.
Oh man, what if they're like the game pieces, man?
Well, so didn't Odo come in and say we're missing our 4 captains?
But it's still
commanders?
insane to think that the 4 game pieces are actual human beings. Or sentient beings.
I think it would have been a little bit more enjoyable if he'd been like, the 4 commanders are missing, and Quark's like, that's funny, I've got 4 game pieces, and then they both kind of like,
and then if they both look at Wadi or the Wadi, and then what's his name? Fallow's like, admits that this is we needed someone to play,
Yeah.
A little thing like that would have been great.
That actually that was kind of a weird one for me, because the whole reason that they started playing this game is because Quark tried to cheat them.
He's a cheater, yeah.
Because they were winning too much, and he's like, I'm losing money. I can't have them do that.
How can you be skilled at a game of chance, by the way? Because Dabo is just space roulette.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you can make some decisions that you can do in your best
I understand,
interest,
but they're winning every time. That doesn't make any sense. They were probably
It was
cheating
the luck
first.
of the sticks.
Stick luck.
But the one thing that kind of made me laugh is that Fallow made the comment of, this is an honest game. And it's like, why is it an honest game? Is it because of the wager? Because obviously, we end up knowing that the crew survives. Like they're not actually in danger.
It was only a game.
Yeah, it's like, so how is this an honest game?
Also,
you can't cheat at it?
Why does it make a difference? This was the one part of the writing that like really stuck out to me as super weird. When it was like, okay, this seems like it's kind of an unworrisome game. Why did it make a difference if only children start on the first level?
Because it was super easy.
But
like
that would be
Allamaraine.
because Allamaraine was super difficult.
That
was a thinker.
Well, I mean, like the second challenge that we're about to get to is super easy as well.
Yeah, but
literally hands it to him.
let's
drink
it would
this.
make the game longer. Wouldn't it make more sense if
let's
only
just get
children?
through the episode.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
The crew steps into
Sorry,
a
I'm
room.
not trying to cut you off, Ashley. I'm sorry.
The crew steps into a room hosting a loud, raucous Wadi cocktail party where the guests entirely ignore them. The doors suddenly lock and a toxic gas starts filling the room. Watching the partygoers, Bashir deduces that the bizarre alien drinks are the antidote. The crew frantically drinks them and survives the hazard. What in the F is this scene? I feel like I'm watching something that's written by an alien who is emulating human behavior they watched on TV but don't fully understand it. The solution to the quote-unquote riddle of the poison gas is to drink the same drink that all the non-player characters are drinking. Really? That's the riddle? That's the game?
And that's
it's insulting to even call this a riddle. It's the equivalent of pay F to pay respects. It's not a game. And even worse, there's no meaning behind it.
Yep.
You could have a horrible game if there's some kind of great metaphor. There's no metaphor. There's no meaning at all.
And his quip at the end where he's like, scientific method. Actually, I just was doing what everybody else was doing.
I
It was
didn't
like-
have much of a choice, is what he said.
Yeah.
Bashir.
And it's like, wow, that's your big line of the episode.
No, his big line of the episode was, ah! Ah!
No, you know what? Normally on previous episodes, I disagree with you guys a bit on Bashir, but this episode, it's like, yeah, it's kind of warranted. You are you're the very intelligent idiot in this episode.
Idiot savant.
Shut up, Wesley.
So our next scene in Ops, Odo and Primin continue to bicker over security protocols. Frustrated, Odo instructs Primin to beam him directly onto the Wadi ship to look for clues. So Odo says, Primin doesn't want to ship him over, beam him over there because it's against protocol to just beam onto an alien ship without the permission. Odo says, "Well, I'm not in Starfleet, and isn't it against Starfleet? Is it against Starfleet policy to press a few buttons?" Yes, Odo. It's against Starfleet policy to press a few buttons. Let me press a few buttons and teleport you into the warp core, you crotchety old bucket of goo. Odo was annoying me big time this episode.
He's pretty huffy in this episode. I still love Odo.
Yeah. It's like I get it. It's technically a Bajoran station, and it's more like Bajoran policies, but it's just Starfleet administration that's kind of running it. So I get why he's kind of, like pressuring Primin to be like, no, beam me to that ship right now. It's not you who sets the policy, it's me.
It's a good thing that beaming him over there accomplished something, huh?
Oh,
Right?
yeah.
This scene has no purpose at all. At all.
But I love how Fallon's like,
The whole scene is just to get Odo into the bar.
Yeah.
That's the only thing
He
that
could
scene
have
does.
walked.
Yes, he could have walked. And it's completely unclear.
hey, he could have walked to the ship too. But
Oh, man, this episode is just something else.
I do love how he does mock Primin, though. He's like, is that Starfleet policy? Well, I'm not in Starfleet. And it's just like, ugh.
I
I should have beamed him into space. Right into the
You
sun.
don't need oxygen, right, Odo?
Right into the wormhole.
Go home.
Go home, Odo.
Go along home. That's great.
Odo's from the Gamma Quadrant through the wormhole. Ashley, explaining this joke to Ashley.
She's looking at us like we've all lost our minds.
No, it's great. It's great. I'm loving it.
Oh, man.
Hearing you guys laugh is one of my favorite sounds.
Act 4, Wadi ship, Quark's bar. Odo materializes
Nothing left in
inside
Act
the featureless
3?
bright.
We don't need to talk about anything more.
So Odo materializes inside the ship. It's a bright white room, and he opens the exit door to investigate, only to inexplicably step straight into Quark's bar. This scene has no reason to exist, as we just said.
My wife, so I watched with Leela not last night, 2 nights ago, just for my second watch through. I didn't take notes because I don't care. I was watching this and I sighed when he gets beamed over and he steps through and she goes, "What happened?" I said, "You're supposed to understand that he got teleported when he walked into the light and teleported to the corpse." Why? I don't know. I don't know. It's bad writing. This is a bad scene.
It does feel like you missed. Like, did I look away for a second and miss something? Like,
And then Fallon looks at him and is like, mm-hmm.
It's like, that's what you get for going into my sparkly room on my ship. Is you come to the bar. I can only guess that the game is actually on the ship and it's just teleported there with sparkly light. And so he walked into the sparkly light, got beamed into Quark's bar.
Gotcha.
That makes sense.
I think that's what we're supposed to understand. I don't understand that.
Maybe they're like in a holodeck on their ship. So Fallow demands Quark roll again. Quark rolls poorly, resulting in an unfortunate reversal that displaces one of his pieces. And back in the maze, they're deep in the maze, a swirling energy vortex suddenly envelops Bashir, causing him to completely vanish in front of the others. The Bashir player piece is lost, and I wish this vortex would have taken the entire episode and make it disappear.
Yes. The vortex looked cool, though. It was a pretty good effect.
Yeah.
It holds up.
Yeah, it was a neat
I
effect.
did like how it like looked over every single commander.
Because it's supposed to be his hand, right? That's what you're supposed to get.
It's like you, nope, bowing you. No.
You're annoying.
Back in Quark's bar, distraught over losing the doctor, Quark realizes the safe path is taking too long. He decides to take the high-stakes shortcut to get the remaining crew to the finish line quickly. Quark rolls the dice, but triggers Thialo, a brutal rule stating he must permanently sacrifice one of his 3 remaining players so the other 2 can live. Back in Quark's bar, terrified Quark breaks down, weeping and begging Fallow not to make him personally choose who dies. Please! Fallow takes pity on him and allows the game to select the sacrifice at random.
There is one point I do want to make. Before the Thialo rule gets triggered, Quark's like, yeah, it's taking too long. I need them to take the shorter route. And Odo's like, what are you doing? That's more dangerous. Don't do that. And he's like, trust me. And I'm like, this is the last person on the station you can ask to do that.
Yes.
Like, Odo is the opposite side of Quark's coin. And it's just like, you're going to have to trust a gambler. And it's like,
no, I don't. I really don't.
The saving grace of this episode is that it has these utterly bizarre scenes. And I get Quark is a gutless coward, but man, he's laying on thick here. And God bless you, Armin Shimmerman. You really went for him. He is shaking so hard you can see the skull makeup on his head shake.
Yeah.
Yeah. Armin Shimmerman had no fear about this episode. He went for it, man.
Armin Shimmerman, I knew him better from Buffy. And he was actually, I hated his character so much. And then my mom told me, it was like, that's the same guy who plays Quark. And
well, he
was
looks like an alien in Buffy too.
Yeah. It was crazy to me because I hated him in 2 different universes.
Matt doesn't like Quark either.
Oh, that's fair.
So when Fallow says the game can sacrifice the piece for him, it reminded me of the movie Scarface when Tony Montana tells Frank Lopez he won't kill him. And then this enormous relief washes over Frank, only for Tony to tell his henchman to kill Frank instead.
I won't kill you. He'll kill you. Though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never seen Scarface.
You would hate it.
I probably would.
Ashley doesn't like violent movies, and that's about a 10 out of 10 on the violence scale.
Oh, boy.
So back in the maze, Cisco, Kira, and Dax find themselves navigating a dark, rocky cavern when a sudden rock fall pins Dax's leg. A violent earthquake strikes, opening a massive chasm. Dax gets hurt. An image of Bashir tells them to go towards the light. Fallow appears against and again and tells them to go home, and they've reached Shep 6. The ledge gives way entirely, and Cisco, Kira, and Dax plunge into the darkness below. Dax begs Cisco and Kira to leave her behind, but they refuse, slowly helping her navigate a crumbling, narrow ledge over the abyss. They end up falling into the abyss, losing the game. There's a part here where Dax tells Cisco she would leave him in the same circumstance. Do you think she's being honest or trying to motivate Cisco to leave her?
Yeah, she's not.
She's motivating him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And another a lack of payoff was a rock pins her, right? That's what you guys
she gets
also
her leg caught.
Her leg caught. And they help her out. And she says, it's not broken. So all that scene was her getting pinned by a rock.
Nothing's broken, yeah.
And,
but you can.
She still has a limp.
Twist and.
But
you can roll your ankle.
Just once again, like it was one of those things of like there's
no
hardly
stakes.
any stakes or payoff in this game at all.
I did like how Cisco is like, well, I'm glad I'm not the one that's injured then. If you're going to leave me behind.
The only good, sincere line in this entire episode is when Cisco finishes Dax's sentence saying, don't let sentiment get in the way of command decisions, with Cisco replying, yeah, I've heard that one somewhere, hearkening back to when he was friends with Curzon Dax.
That was a good moment.
The only sincere moment in this episode that has any kind of value.
See, I know enough about Star Trek to know about that. Curzon versus Jadzia.
Yeah.
Osmosis.
So back in Quark's bar, a cheerful Fallow explains that it was only a game and the crew was never in any actual danger. However, because Quark lost all his pieces, the Wadi win the original wager and reclaim their gems. So we learned the whole thing was a farce. The game had no stakes. None of this matters. The real game was how much they could torture us, the audience.
Yes.
It was a dream all along.
The show literally just stops. It just kind of like in Babel. The show just stops.
Yep.
It doesn't end. It's just roll credits. We're done with this.
And I mentioned this earlier where it was like, what happens to Jake?
Well, and I think this is a really good lesson too, that money doth not make the episode.
Well, we know that already.
One more thing happens. An angry Cisco prepares to confront Fallow, but Odo stops him, dryly pointing out that Quark's attempt to cheat their guests is what started the entire ordeal. As the Wadi happily depart for the wormhole, a shameless Quark runs after them to negotiate the Alpha Quadrant franchise rights for Chula. Holding Quark responsible for these people kidnapping Cisco, Dax, and Kira and Bashir is totally absurd.
Yes.
And absurd is the perfect way to describe this episode.
Yeah. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm going to be, as Starfleet, as Cisco, I'm mad that you decided to try and cheat our first contact guest that I specifically said, don't do that to.
Exactly.
And you decided to do it anyways. It's like, now I've got leverage over you. Like that's how that could have played out. But yeah.
He's got leverage, but he should have been. He was right to be upset with the Wadi for doing that.
Yeah.
But we can't be upset with the Wadi because we're never going to see them again, because the reason I'm pretty sure that we never see the Wadi again, other than the fact that their makeup's just a little weird. The costumes are great, but the makeup's a little weird, is because no one wants to be reminded of this terrible episode. So they just, oof.
To give you an idea of my understanding of this, I saw Mike watching this on the plane. I just saw. I didn't hear anything. I didn't see any subtitles or anything like that. I just happened to catch, sorry, I'm leaning too far back. I happened to catch his, just a screen grab here or there. And I turned him to this morning and I went, let me guess. Quark is in a game, or Quark plays a game and doesn't realize that Cisco's in the game and his life is in danger. And Quark is playing the game and Cisco's in danger. And Mike was like, yeah, that's pretty much the sum of it. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, okay, so I'm going to watch this episode.
Except that Cisco isn't in danger.
Yeah. Well, again, I only saw 4 frames worth of, and I immediately
it would be better if he was in danger. If your understanding was correct, that would have been a better episode.
The high concept is not horrible, where it's like Quark is a gamer and he loves gambling in these games of chance. And in this episode, Quark is playing a game with our new alien friends, but he doesn't realize the stakes are life or death. Like, he's playing a simulation of life and death, and he doesn't realize that the stakes are real.
Yeah, it's an honest game.
That's a great high concept. That's not what this episode is.
It's disappointing, and it's funny that this is my first episode of watching it as an adult.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, it's it felt very like a test.
So let's get to our ending questions here. Chris and I came up with some few questions that we ask every episode. And our first one is, was there a singular ethical dilemma or moral message that defined the episode? We're going to go counterclockwise, starting with you, Chris.
Was there an ethical dilemma or moral message? Is it immoral to force people to watch this episode? That's what I went with. I think that's the real question. Should this be considered cruel and unusual punishment? Do they play this episode at Guantanamo Bay?
Move along home.
You can't. You're in prison.
Allamaraine. That's something I didn't mention. Allamaraine became a running joke with the crew. Like, anytime something bad was happening on set, people would just start singing Allamaraine.
That's amazing. It's like jumping the shark, the whole turn of phrase. That's amazing.
I mean, I think Chris said it earlier. Just, cheaters never prosper. That was kind of but nothing happens to the cheater in this episode. So my answer is no. The idea was cheaters never prosper, but they don't do a good job of that. So no.
Only children start on the first level. That's the only thing that I got out of this. No, Mike said it. It's cheaters never prosper, and it's one of those things where there's no punishment, there's no follow through, there's not even well, hold on, you can't leave yet, we need to talk. There's nothing. They just walk away, and Quark gleefully follows them. Like, it's just like, I don't know. The ending seemed so abrupt and disjointed. And what's your answer?
I put games have no meaning beyond that which we arbitrarily apply to them. Winning or losing doesn't matter. Nothing matters. Nihilism wins again.
You have any more questions?
If you had to delete one scene, which would it be? Well, let's start with Mike this time.
Yeah, okay, so let's do the reverse because we all would delete the episode. What is one scene that you would save?
That's the next question.
We're going to get to that.
Okay, that's the next question?
That's the next
Okay,
question.
that's not fair. Okay, so the only scene that I think I would delete is the opening where Cisco tells Jake that he needs to know more about women than what Nog tells him. That's the only, because again, we talked about it before. It literally has no bearing on this episode other than being like, I'm a dad.
And it's a shame. I agree with you, and it's a shame because it's probably also the best scene of the episode.
Right?
Ashley, if you had to delete one scene, which would it be?
I really I know the expected answer would probably be Allamaraine, but I really disliked the Odo. Is it against policy to push a few buttons?
Yeah.
I really disliked that. It seemed really aggressive. The thing I didn't want to ask this until we got to here is everyone so angry on this show, or is it
mostly just Avery Brooks?
Yeah.
It just
Odo is
angry.
Meant to be angry.
Odo's an angry character, and so is Cisco.
And Kira seemed really pissed off in the background, like a little Peter Pan flitting around.
She's more of a righteous anger person, but yeah.
You are noticing, yeah.
Yeah,
that
but
is
I
a
couldn't-
thing with this.
I couldn't tell if it was
That's astute observation.
It was like, and then Dax just seemed so calm compared to like Bashir and angry Avery Brooks and pissed off.
That's interesting.
Dax is 900
observation.
years old, though. That's why.
That's fair.
I think partly why I probably like Dax. She's my favorite character.
Oh, Dax was always who I played when my brother and I would play Star Trek growing up,
Yeah.
or Crusher, Dr. Crusher.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
But Dax
I'm
is
a girl.
better.
Stay away from ghosts.
You don't tell me what to do.
To the writer's credit with Kira, she is, up until this point, she has been a terrorist living under oppression, fighting, the Cardassians. And so she never played games. She never really had a chance to be a child. She talks about since she was old enough to pick up a phaser.
So are you saying she should smile more?
No, I'm saying her character development over the course of the entire
She has a
series.
character justification for the
No,
way
she really
acts.
does.
Yeah,
Yeah.
where Cisco, he just lost his wife.
Cisco Odo's the one that has no motivation.
He's just angry
just
because
the way he is.
Yeah.
He's angry because he grew up alone.
He's the crotchety sheriff.
But the angrily, is it against Starfleet policy to press a few buttons, seemed so surreal to me. Like it was like, this is elevated anger that should not be in this scene.
So my scene was the one where Odo goes on their ship to get transported to Quark's bar. Chris, what was your scene to delete?
I agree with Mike about that opening. It doesn't make sense, but I always have two for the bad episodes, and it is also the teleport random. Like why does this? There's no reason for this. Does the actor who played Fremen just have a line count that he has to have, and that's why we have this scene? That's the only thing I can possibly think of.
They were trying to threaten, O'Brien.
Yeah, call meanie.
Hey, look, he's gonna meet his script count here if we keep him on the show. He's gonna make union if you keep talking.
Yeah, he gets one more, and he's on the show, and you're out. You better come back.
I had a question, totally off topic. We'll get sidetracked here for a sec. Does Quark's bar have a name besides Quark's bar?
Quarks.
It's just called
Quarks.
Quark's.
Yes.
Is there like a sign or something that says Quark's?
In Ferengi, I think.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't know if they really pointed out.
I don't know. That's just something a question that popped in my head while I was
I still think they didn't do a
watching
very
this.
good job of establishing how they know about quarks, because
They know about quarks because they were written to know.
Because the
about
Vulcans
quarks.
wouldn't have told them.
The Vulcans might have told them.
Well, okay.
Where is the nearest place we can play games? Deep Space Nine, Quarks. He has games. Do
Like
you
that-
like them? We are
that's
Vulcan.
the
We do not play
extent of
games.
the first contact.
Would you like to play Calto? What is this? Do we bet? No, it is a game of mental serenity. Cool, I'm going to Quarks.
Do I get to bang sticks during that game?
Wait, you mean I lose something? This game sucks.
This game has any stakes whatsoever, and children don't start.
You really love that.
Do you have any bottomless shaps?
I don't think we can answer this next question.
So if you could only keep one scene, I'd delete everything else. Or put another way, what is your favorite scene? For me, ironically, the most enjoyment I got out of this episode by far was the Allamaraine scene. It's a so bad it's good type of scene, like Miami Connection, when the guy says, "A friend." Yeah. How about you, Ashley? What was your favorite scene?
I'm trying to think of one.
You want us to come back to you? Mike, what was your favorite scene?
Yeah, okay, so my favorite scene is also the only one that I would delete. Like the opening scene where he talks to his son about, you know nothing about women. I can't believe you're learning from Nog about women. Like if the episode had been based around that and, Cisco teaching his son about how to romance a lady properly or something like that, that would have been a far better episode than what they put before us. But at the same time, I did absolutely love Cisco and Kira in pain as they hopscotch through the episode. So I agree with you, Matt. I think I would save that. But if I were to delete everything else, it would be everything except that opening scene.
Never had anybody pick the same scene for both, and I can't blame you. It's pretty justified.
Right?
Yeah.
Chris, what was your favorite scene?
Beg for me, Quark.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
I love him going. It's not because it's
Please.
it's not because it's a great scene or anything, but he goes for it, and then he gets the relief of, oh, fine, it's fine. It's like, okay, the game will choose for you. He's like, what?
I begged and still got nothing.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's a good scene. It's the only one that stands out for me in this whole episode.
I still think that it does a great job. Again, Deep Space Nine does a great job of exploring the Ferengi as a species. And
it's the apology tour for the Ferengi. That's what Deep Space Nine is.
So, and I mean, it goes into it later on in the series, but it really just kind of goes to show you that the Ferengi have absolutely no problem doing anything that they can to give themselves an advantage.
This is true.
I guess if I had to save a scene, it would be, weirdly, because I spoke so much of Odo earlier, I would say the first part of Odo, of you lost any commanders recently or ever lose any commanders. I thought that was hilarious, and I liked how gentle that scene was in comparison to the rest of the episode. It was interesting.
The station still ran pretty well without them, so
Bajor, maybe we don't need these Starfleet people here. It's kind of like when Bashir's gone in Culus for 2 days. Yeah. Nobody notices.
Nobody missed the chief medical officer. Well, it's a good thing we didn't have any medical emergencies.
And like you said, Chris, the episode just ends. So that whole thing, we get 2 scenes with Jake. One of them is like, "Where's my dad?"
Which is also a pretty
no
decent
resolution
scene.
on that.
Well, and he's not even all that bothered by it too. He's like, "Hey, have you seen my dad? The computer said he's not on the station."
I'm concerned. Go peep.
Go back to school.
Go
go back to school. And no, Miss O'Brien's on Earth.
Yeah, so, okay, well, if you can't go to school, go perv on some Bajoran girls with your Ferengi friend.
I'll find your dad.
I'll find your dad. You go find some trouble.
So our next question is one I think Ashley will have a little difficulty answering, being that she's not a Star Trek Deep Space Nine fan. But our next question is, on the Senior Chief Petty Officer Miles Edward O'Brien official scale of torture, how badly was O'Brien tortured in this episode on a scale of 0 to 4 lights? And this is a reference to 2 different things in Star Trek. One is that Miles O'Brien must suffer in Deep Space Nine. And the other is from the TNG episode in which Picard is tortured.
Chain of
and
Command.
the Cardassians are trying to get him to say there are 4 lights when there are
5. They're
there
trying
are
to say
5
5
lights when there are in reality 4 lights. And so on a scale of 0 to 4, I give this a 0 Me, on the other hand, 5. There are 5 lights, okay? I'm ready to say whatever you want me to say to end this suffering. There's 10 lights, all right? 20. I see 20. Are you sure there's only 10? Because I see 20. Chris, what did you give this?
I
0
think
to 4.
O'Brien, -1.
Yeah, I was gonna say
He did not suffer. In fact, he had a
benefited.
great time because he wasn't in this episode and his character was not besmirched because you know what would happen. You know what would happen if O'Brien was in this episode. He would be in the game instead of Bashir. He would have forgotten.
He would have been
Bashir
the only
before.
one.
I was going to say, he'd probably be the only one in the game.
It's just O'Brien.
And then there would have been a perverse enjoyment of this episode.
Yes.
And you know what? To be honest with you,
See it. O'Brien suffers for our sins. See, if he had suffered, we wouldn't have suffered.
I actually, to an extent, I do agree with the whole -1. He's happier that he's not there.
Yes.
But remember why he's on Earth. It's because he's on Earth for Keiko's mother's 100th birthday. Anytime you go to like a family-oriented event, you suffer a little bit. So I'm going to go back to 0. I think again, the rule must stand. O'Brien must suffer. So he probably suffered a little bit at the family birthday party.
Could tell my mother. What'd you think of mother-in-laws?
Let her
got
listen to
lucky.
this episode.
She'd probably enjoy this. And just
Probably.
hearing a bunch of
I
her.
think your dad would enjoy this a lot.
Oh, big time, big time. Oh, my answer. So my answer is the guy that tortures Patrick Stewart in that episode is David Warner. He has recently passed away, and he is actually in our favorite Christmas movie, the George C. Scott's Christmas Carol, and he plays
in
Bob
that?
Cratchit. Yes, he does. He is one of the more
Great job,
delightful
too.
actors. He's in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2. He's just a wonderfully great, or was a wonderfully
He's the
great.
bad guy in Ninja Turtles too.
No, he's the scientist who discovers the giant dandelions.
He's not the bad guy with the goo. That's not him. It looks
No.
just like him. Wow.
So
okay.
anywho, I absolutely adore David Warner, who's also in Undiscovered Country.
Mm-hmm.
That's my answer.
You sure he's not the bad guy in Ninja Turtle? Is he the bad guy in Power Rangers?
No,
Maybe that's the movie. I
No.
don't know. Whatever.
The rain's coming back telling us to stop talking about
no, that's my.
stop getting
so
sidetracked.
whenever I hear about David Warner, I get really excited. So
Our next question, is this episode properly defined as science fiction? And the way we define that is the plot and the narrative driven by technology? Could the narrative and plot exist as it is without technology driving it forward? Let's go with someone that has had no chance. Ashley, why don't you answer it?
I'm gonna say this was more of like fictional science, because like the teleporting straight to Quark's bar. You know, he walked into a shiny room and then just went straight into Quark's place.
Basically, what I'm asking is, could the way the story is, right? They jump into a game.
Could this story happen without technology/magic?
Without technology?
in real life.
That's what we're asking. Is it
But like
science
maybe there's a
fiction?
Star Trek episode where it's about
a
like
trial,
a trial,
and then it doesn't need technology, right? So it's not
I
technically
see what you're
science
saying.
fiction.
Yeah, no, this could not have happened. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah. So it's the.
Did you not send them the questions?
No, he did.
She watched it before we got here.
I know.
No, she noted just like you, but for a different reason.
No, I took a
Steel
stand.
trap for Star Trek.
This is
I took one note. I'm sorry. I'm gonna.
No.
What did it say?
You gave yourself one note with his phone.
you gave yourself a reminder.
Intense
It's a note.
bipolar currents.
Is that what's happening right now?
Yes, this is a science fiction episode. You could pull it off with like poisons or something, put people to sleep, put them in a cage, that kind of thing. You might be able to pull that off, but no, this episode doesn't really work without it being fully science fiction.
Does technology drive the narrative? I would argue that you have to have a narrative in order for technology to drive it. But I will say that this abomination of a Star Trek episode could not exist without whatever magic is in the box that makes the game happen. So technically, it is science fiction.
And it makes me think of that Futurama quote where he's just like, well, see, Fry, if you take this quantum, and he goes, magic, got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the answer is just yes. We don't need to analyze it any deeper than that. So who was the main character of the episode? Chris.
I went with Quark.
Mm-hmm.
It's not very clear, but this is if there was an arc, it would have been Quark's arc to have, but it's not. So Quark.
I went with Jake. I think this is a Jake subject.
Where's my dad?
I don't care. Good luck, Odo. Let me know when he gets back. No, honestly,
wait, did he go out to get the milk?
Cigarettes.
Oh, no.
The
No.
replicator broke, son.
Oh, no, sorry. That's not until the last episode.
Oh, no, wait. Worf's not on the show yet.
Worst father ever.
No, so just like
Poor
with
Alex.
what was that other episode that you had me on with?
Babel?
The virus one.
Babel.
Babel.
We've had you for the 2 worst episodes
Yes,
so far.
I appreciate
That's one of the
that.
reasons I was so excited to have you back for this one. I'm like, he's going to think we hate him.
Yeah. Just like with Babel, there really is no main character. Everybody does something in this episode.
We made a rule that you have to pick one, though.
Yeah, oh, we did?
Yeah. I
Oh.
mean, Jake is acceptable.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with Jake.
That's fine.
Perfectly
Yeah.
fine.
I'm gonna say Quark too. He seemed like he really wanted to learn a lesson. That's about it.
If only I had a character arc, please.
And then he doesn't learn anything.
So you guys weren't paying attention because the real main character is Primin. This was all a dream he had while flying back to Starfleet headquarters.
Dream. This is a nightmare.
Honest answer, Cisco, I guess.
Yeah.
But what does he learn? Does this help him relate to his 14-year-old son in some way? No. Does this move his prophet story forward? No. Does he better understand this alien species? No. Does he better understand the concepts of games? No. He already understands baseball. It's
The only thing it
Yeah.
does for Cisco is teach him that, not everything is by the book. Like First Contact, he had this, this is how it's supposed to be. We're going to be getting a lot of first contacts because we're the doorway to the
Yeah, but he
Xenoquarter.
didn't do it right the first time they had a first contact.
Yeah, I know.
You, repairman, go meet him.
So he's learning as he goes. by introducing an entire quadrant.
No.
What was the name of the who wrote who revised the First Contact? You guys remember? He was talking about it at the bar. He was like,
Oh, I don't remember
"That's
the name.
I'm pretty sure it's McCullough."
Yes,
McCullough?
it is McCullough.
wow, someone paid attention.
I get teased, but I listen.
I just had a thought
ADHD.
that
It's
kind of
superpower.
dawned on me. If this station is important to Starfleet because they're going to be, sending ships through, there's going to be a lot of first contacts made. Why is Cisco still in charge of it?
What do you mean?
Like Cisco has.
Oh, that's a great point because he's a commander.
Yeah, well, not only is he a
And
commander,
it's
but he
become a
has
hub,
nothing
a major
specifically.
hub.
Yeah, he's got nothing specifically under his belt that warrant. Like they put him in charge of this because it was a know nothing
Yeah.
position, and then now all of a sudden this thing is probably one of the most important stations.
Because he is the emissary. That's why he's still
I suppose
there.
Bajor.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. They should have included that. That's a great question, though. But they should have included that in the narrative of one of these episodes. The fact that the Bajorans demanded that he run the station because of his importance of his religious importance
Yeah, but
to them.
the
And Starfleet was scared to piss off Kira.
But okay, but then that's the other point. Does Starfleet really give a crap what Bajor says?
Yes, because it's a Bajoran base.
Yeah, but that's my point.
They
though.
want Bajor to join the Federation.
They
That
do?
is
Yes, that's in the pilot.
This is-
Why?
because they're an empire and they're trying to get bigger.
Yeah, yes.
They are the friendliest
But like
conqueror you've ever
Bajor has
met.
like zero to offer other than like maybe some spiritual development.
Hasperat.
Doesn't matter.
Hasperat.
Hasperat. And
Spicy
and
sandwiches.
every time we see Bajor, it is a beautiful planet.
Which makes no sense because the place was supposed to be like strip mine.
Your cultural and technological material will join us. we are the Federation.
They'll be added to it.
You will be assimilated.
I don't know. Again, I think if you do take it from the position of Bajor demanded that Sisko be in charge of the
That's
station.
the only answer that makes sense. Because
Yeah.
otherwise you're right. Like why like this is all of a sudden became one of the most important spots in the whole universe.
Or better yet, he's
And
a commander. So guess what?
yeah.
Now we're going to put a captain in charge of the
Yes.
station, and Sisko can report directly to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what would happen.
I mean, he gets a promotion later. So
Well, sure. Later. Sisko's career was saved by the wormhole aliens.
Any more questions for us, Matthew?
Our last one. Overall score 1 to 5 stars, excuse me. And you can do fractions.
0 to 5 stars.
Yes.
No. The question is 1 to 5. You have to give it a star.
Chris
You
is
can give
right.
fractions.
I keep forgetting to redo this. You can give it 0 if you want. You can give it a dud. But I rank this episode number 1. 1 out of 5.
Yeah.
There is a perverse enjoyment that you can get out of this. So I can't give it a complete dud. There is such bizarre stuff in it. The Allamaraine, if you want to skip this episode, you got to at least go on YouTube and watch the Allamaraine scene. It's so nuts. You have to see it. But Mike, what was your score?
I gave it a 1.337.
Nice.
Lee.
No other reason than simply, one, it has to be on a scale of 1 to 5, but as far as general TV goes, it's okay. As far as Star Trek goes, it's a bad episode.
Yeah. I wouldn't even rate it good for general TV.
No.
Chris, what did you rate this?
I'm right with you. I give it 1 out of 5. This is one of the worst episodes of Star Trek I have ever put into my eyeballs.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
It really is. Like I haven't watched a lot of new Trek, but
For
Even-
instance, my 0 is Sub Rosa.
Rosa, which one's Sub Rosa?
Dr. Crusher.
Oh, the ghost one. Is the ghost one worse than this?
Yes.
I haven't seen it. It's an always skip one for me. So I really
Actually, you know what? It might be slightly better. Code of Honor is pretty bad too. Although I don't know if Code of Honor is worse than this episode.
But the thing is, those episodes have like narratives. So there's like a story.
Yeah,
This
but it's
episode literally has no story.
But it's about Crusher, and she's been written in such a way that nobody cares about her character.
yeah.
And she's like, I'm gonna bang my ghost friend.
So
So
we talked about there is a good Crusher episode if you watch The Host, which is the episode that introduces
Yes.
the Trill. That's
it's a good Crusher.
but Sub
She has
Rosa,
good episodes.
not so much.
But
Yeah.
no, but Sub Rosa is my 0, probably.
Yeah.
I'd give it a 1.5 only because I enjoyed the costume designs. I like the set design.
There are
the
good
set
things about
didn't
the episode.
do a lot of good work.
The artists that work on Deep Space Nine are excellent artists.
Mhm. Yes.
Every episode to me kind of impressed. Something about it impresses me. The
sets
makeup
are
for the
always
aliens,
amazing.
the sets are great.
Yeah, when it comes to rewatching episodes, Michael and I were talking about showing the boys. We've got 2 toddlers. The Clone Wars, the Star Wars Clone Wars
TV show.
and the TV show, not the movie. And I was like, okay, but then we have to go back and watch things like Godzilla attacks Palpatine. That's a real episode. And I'm just like, could we just skip to the important episodes?
No.
And Mike's like, no, he's
Mike's
You
a
have-
completionist.
You have to watch, if
I am
you've
not.
never seen a show, you have to at least be exposed to all the bad stuff in
Yeah.
the show, so you can't go around going, this is the greatest show ever. And they go, yeah, well, what about this?
That is
Well,
true.
I skipped that one because they told me to skip it. Then how do you know it's the greatest show ever?
That's fair.
I have earned the right to skip all Troy-based episodes in TNG.
You know, and I agree with that notion. The first time you watch a show, you should watch it beginning to end. And I've watched The Next Generation countless times. I can't even think how many times I've watched majority. I'm going to correct myself. The majority of episodes, because I came over to your house, Mike, a few years ago, and you had a TNG episode on. And I was like, did I have a stroke? Because I have no memory of this episode. I was like staring at the screen like, there's a TNG episode I haven't seen.
What is
Skin
the
of Evil?
episode?
Yeah, as I was watching it, I was like, wow, this is why I haven't seen this episode sucks. It's a season 1 episode where they're in like an underground base and someone's been killed, and it's kind of a mystery, and they were killed by a laser robot security camera thing, and Data disables it, and we actually don't, and the disabling of it happens off camera because he can disable it because he's so fast as an android.
Very, very vague memory of this.
Yeah, dude. I was like, is this AI? Like, what am I watching?
I honestly usually start my TNG episode watches in season 2. I
Same.
just start with season 2.
Or you watch like the pilot and then
I don't even want to play Farpoint. Counter Farpoint's so bad.
yeah. But
The Rain
Yeah.
agrees. It's crying tears for season 1 Star Trek.
Tears in the rain.
I still say that's one of the reasons why I love TOS as my favorite series. Yeah, it has some bad episodes, but I mean, seasons 1, 2, and 3. pretty
You
decent
just
all the way
like the
through.
costumes.
He does like bright colors.
Oh, dude, like
No, I'm talking about specific costumes, and he knows what I'm talking about.
hey, slave girls,
Work of art.
Even in TNG, they should have been there, but they decided not to keep them.
They show up again in Enterprise.
so I want to thank Mike and Ashley for joining us on this episode. And
Came all the way
I'm
from
sorry-
Fargo here.
And I'm sorry. Okay.
This was the episode.
And I'm sorry. This was the episode.
We're keeping all the good episodes to ourselves.
Yeah, really. And but yeah, thank you for joining us.
Well, thanks for having us.
Happy to be here.
This episode was called Move Along Home, and that's what we're gonna do. So move along home.
Allamaraine!
Second slap.
Second slot.